Hey angels, welcome to my channel. So I'm so excited for today because this is the question I get asked every single day. DMs, comments on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, how to start a clothing brand. So that's what I want to share with you guys. And if you guys don't know, my name is Vanessa and I'm the face behind Saint Venus, which is a clothing brand, and I've grown her to multiple six figures, multiple years in a row. So I'm super excited just to share some of the things that really helped me when getting started. So let's go. So number one, your niche. A niche is so important because this is basically going to dictate what direction you go when it comes to like styling, product production, how you want your feed to feel. So you can pick either streetwear, and there are more categories in this, but streetwear, evening wear, you can sell lingerie, you can sell activewear. You can pick whatever clothing category you want. What I'm saying is pick a category, stick with it, and dominate that category. Let's not try to sell too many different categories at once because you want to be known for something. So you're gonna want a memorable and meaningful brand name. Think of something that you resonate with, that you think others will too, that maybe has like a background behind it. People love brands with like a backstory, especially when it comes to the name of the brand and the reason for the brand, the why, right? So once you come up with your brand name, learn from my mistakes. And I have a video about this, but learn from my mistakes and double check on the trademark website that the name that you want to build your brand off of isn't trademarked in the category that you're looking to do. So right now we're talking about clothing. So make sure that the name that you choose is not already trademarked under the clothing category. That's gonna save you a lot of a headache further along down the line. And you don't need to trademark your name immediately. If you have the money to do so, absolutely do it, but it's not a necessity to start. I just want you guys to check that it's not already taken before putting your heart, soul, energy into something that you'll only have to redo. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, you found a name, it's not trademarked, you're gonna go on every single social media platform and you're gonna secure your name immediately, like today. The second you find out that this is the name you want, the second that it's not trademarked, you're gonna go on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, Threads, and secure your name. You're gonna also wanna secure your web address, your domain. This is extremely important. So your web address is like that www.store, www.com address. That's what you want to secure for your brand. And I recommend, especially when starting out, to try a .store domain. When somebody lands on a .store domain, they know immediately it's a clothing store or it's a store. It's something that they'll be able to purchase from. And .store domains have been shown in a study to help business owners sell more. 87% more people are finding .store domains a lot easier. You get 2 times more visibility on Google with a .store domain, and if you are doing any paid ads, .store domains were shown to be about 12% cheaper on cost per conversion, which is huge, especially as a business owner. You want to save wherever possible. You also get access to Elevate.store, which is a program by .store to help business owners save on essential business tools that you probably will use, like Vistaprint for print materials, MailChimp for email marketing, and so many others. You get up to like $2,500 worth of savings throughout just by opting in to a .store domain. So I've partnered with .store to provide you guys, my audience, with a discount code for a limited time on your .store domain. So if you use the code VenusStore when you're checking out, you'll get your domain for 99 cents for the first year, and then you get access to that great program I was just talking about, Elevate.store, with your domain. So you'll get your domain, and then what you're gonna wanna do is connect that to your website host platform. I recommend Shopify. There are just so many great apps that you can integrate into Shopify, and I'll have both the discount for the .store and a link to Shopify in my description so you guys can get started on setting up your website, which is going to be extremely important, especially for an e-commerce brand. So you've picked your niche, you have your brand name, you have your domain. Now you need a logo. So you can design this yourself or you can hire someone to design it. And some tools to design it yourself that are free are Procreate, Canva. I love using Canva. If you are more, tech savvy and have more of a design skill, then you may want to use Photoshop or InDesign. Or if you prefer for someone else with more experience to design it for you, you can find freelancers on Fiverr. Any one of these methods would be great for designing your logo as well as designing your products, and we'll get into that a bit later. But when it comes to a logo, remember, there are different types of logos. There are wordmark logos like Google and Disney. There are lettermark logos like St. Venus, McDonald's, H&M. You can have like an abstract or a symbol like Nike, Apple, Adidas, for example. These are all different variations of what a logo could look like. So don't think that your logo has to be an image. It doesn't have to be just a word. It can be a combination of any of these things. You can have multiple brand marks that symbolize and let people know that it's your brand when they're looking at your items, or they come across, your logo just on the internet. They know it's affiliated with you. So decide what kind of logo that you want, and then decide which platform is best to bringing your vision to life. This step is extremely important: product design. You want to design something that is unique. You want people to see your items and be like, I know exactly who that belongs to. I know exactly what brand I'm looking at. And a way that you could design products, if you're not, a trained designer, or maybe you just can't even draw. I'm not a drawer. I'm good with like graphic design, but as far as like drawing, that's not my forte. So I find vectors or mockups on Google, and I use that to kind of base my designs off of. And you can do that as well. You can also purchase vectors from Etsy, and they have different categories, and you can use those to kind of start off your design process. And here's where you'll need a bit of creativity. Decide where you want your logo to be, if you want a logo to be on it. Decide where you want the lines to be. Decide whatever makes your brand or this item special. This is the process where you do that. Research, research, research. Throughout this entire thing, you're on this YouTube video right now because you're already researching how to start your brand. So you're on the right track. Now I need you to research materials. I need you to research fabrics, research weights, research different stitching styles, research different finishings, research different appliques that you can put on your clothes. You want to do as much research as you can. I'm not saying spend 3 years on this, get a design degree, but have a base level knowledge. That way when you're searching for manufacturers, and we'll discuss that next, you know at least something, and you'll be able to vet them way easier when you have your own base level knowledge. And when you're researching these materials, you'll know what works best for athleisure. You're gonna want something that, is sweat resistant maybe, that is sculpting. If you're doing streetwear, you want something that's like loose, flowy, that can give you like that boxy look maybe, structured. You just wanna figure out what materials are gonna give you the desired outcome. Because these are things that you'll need to present to your manufacturer so they can source it for you, and you can narrow it down from there. So, getting right into manufacturing. I get my items manufactured from a overseas factory that I found through Alibaba, and I highly suggest going there. You can also use Instagram. However, I've never used Instagram to find a manufacturer. I think that Alibaba is personally more trusted because you do have that Alibaba guarantee. God forbid you don't get your product. God forbid it's way off from your initial design. You can work with Alibaba to try and recover some of your losses, some of your money, right? So on Alibaba, it's going to be trial and error. You're gonna have to scroll through different manufacturers, see who has different ratings, ask them a lot of questions, have your base knowledge. If they don't even know what you know, then that's not who you want to work with. You want to work with a manufacturer that knows more than you do, that can introduce you to new styles, that can source you different fabrics, that can recommend you sizing and all of those things. You want a manufacturer that's knowledgeable, that has been doing this for a long time, that's credible, and that is honest above all. So you're going to need a tech pack to provide to your manufacturer. I hear so often that people aren't finding good manufacturers, this and that, and I guarantee you it's because they're not providing a tech pack. Do not leave anything up for interpretation. Your tech pack is basically putting all of what's in your brain of how you want your design to be on paper, giving it to your manufacturer, and making sure that they can't mess up because you've given them the instruction manual of how to make your items the way you want. You've given them every single measurement. The sizing of the stitch. You've given them the sizing of the waist. Don't give them just the waist, the breast, and the shoulder and think everything's, give them every detail. I want the logo 2 inches down from the, give them every detail in this tech pack. You give them a detailed tech pack with the materials, the colors, how to measure it, point of measurements, all of those things. You can turn, I'm not gonna say the worst manufacturer into the best, but you'll alleviate a lot of the issues that maybe you're experiencing, maybe you hear people experiencing, but a tech pack is what's gonna get you through the storm, I promise. So once you found a manufacturer, on Alibaba specifically, I know that they have pretty high MOQs, especially when starting out. I know I needed a couple $1,000s to get started, but I leveraged, the job that I was making, I leveraged the money I was making from my job, as well as a credit card that I had. It had a pretty low limit. It was like $1,500, but I maxed out that credit card to pay for the deposit, which was about like 40 to 60% you'll see as the deposit. And then when they finished the product, I asked for pictures. I double checked with what I sent them and the picture that they're sending that it looked like what I asked for, and then I paid my balance. And that's how I advise to do it starting off. I know a lot of people say start for pre-orders. It is a good way to start if you don't have a lot of capital up front. But if you're a new brand and people don't know you yet, the likeliness of people purchasing ahead of time when you have no credibility yet is pretty low. Versus you have inventory on stock. You can show people what it looks like. They'll get it immediately. You'll build credibility a lot quicker when you have your first batch on hand. And now maybe when your first batch is on hand, you've sold a couple, people are loving your items, they're selling out. If it sells out, that's when you can do a pre-order. Like, you guys see that my items are quality. You guys want the items. I'll do a pre-order for the next collection. These are the colors. Give them, a very accurate, to your best of your knowledge, estimate of the timeline of when to expect their products. Like, hey, look, I'm doing a pre-order. It's in production. It's in the middle of production. I expect production to be done in 3 weeks. Everybody will get their orders in 5 weeks. Do pre-orders that way. But I think when starting out, try to have the inventory on hand so you can give it to people immediately. This is going to build credibility and only help your brand. Now, when it comes to promotion, I know a lot of people out here, these gurus are saying, you do ads, but the best promotion is organic. TikTok, social media, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, they're all free. Use it. Think of creative ways to get your products out there. Do something that you haven't seen before. Do something that you've seen and make it better. Don't copy what's out there, because at the end of the day, people remember patterns. So if you're doing what everybody else is doing, they're gonna be like, okay, I've seen this before. It's not gonna stop them. But if you're doing something that they haven't seen before, it's gonna at least be scroll stopping. And you want your content to be scroll stopping. And if you want to do ads, then I would say start off slow and do it cautiously. You don't want to be shelling out all this money and not really knowing where it's going, when you could just be building an organic audience, showing your personality with them, share your journey with them, share the behind the scenes process. People want to support people that they want to see win. So if you're sharing yourself with them, you're being vulnerable, you're telling them that, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I want to create something great for you guys. Here's what I've created. Do you guys want to try it out? It's excellent materials. They get it. It's not only a great material, but you're also somebody that they care about. You're gonna always have lifelong supporters. Treat people right. I'm not gonna say the customer is always right, because obviously you know how things happen, but try your best to make people happy. If you mess up, you fix it. If they mess up, you fix it anyway. Who cares? Because showing people, that good faith is going to get them to come back. The return shoppers are what really keep a lot of businesses open. You want to always try and attract new eyes, but the people who have been supporting you and your brand from the start, treat them well. Treat them well, And I promise you, you'll see sales, your business will grow, and ethics above all will always get you further than doing things sketchy, trying to do things fast, a quick buck. That's not how you want to run your brand. If this is something that you want to do long term, treat it as such. I wanted to film a little quick outro. I want to thank you guys for watching this video and your support. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, because I share tips and tricks of what has gotten me from the start. I started with probably what you have now, or maybe even less, maybe more than some people, but I started with a credit card, a graduation gift, and money from my job after graduation. Didn't start with a lot. I didn't start off with multiple collections. I started off with one product and I built it from there. And now, if I can show you, we're in a warehouse that is 1,300 square feet. I have 8 sizes on my site. I think I have like over 14 different products. Like, it is so much larger than I could have ever expected, but you just have to start, and hopefully this video gets you there. So I'll talk to you guys later.